ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dugout Mug Studios. This is the seventh inning stretch.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in, what do I call it? I call it the dog days of spring training. Is that a thing? I guess it is. But that's what I'm going to call it right now. We got a couple weeks left till the real thing starts here. Baseball's really picking up. This is where at the beginning of the year, all right, we got this guy's going to be in the top 5 shortstop talk. This guy's going to be the Cy Young Award winner. Then they're nowhere to be seen 2 weeks into the season. So this is where it really picks up here. Variety Sports Network. The original here, the seventh inning stretch with Josh Edwards. And we got Tyler McGurk with us as well here, part of Variety Sports Network. We see you there with that Giants hat. He's feeling a little bit better out there. Please comment in. We will read anything on there if appropriate. We usually do, even if it is. But get it on there. We'll get it. We want to discuss baseball. Even if it's not what we're talking about, get it on there. We'll try to get it up and we can always pivot in directions here. I want to start, guys, right away, though, with Zack Wheeler and the Phillies getting this huge deal, the 3-year, 126. All right. They've also signed Nola to the big deal as well. So this team has really said these are our guys for the next, 3-4 years. It's 4 years, basically. We've committed to this as our top of the rotation. Not bad. We're saying a good deal with that. And so, I mean, always with a pitcher, there's a chance you're going to get screwed over because they get injured and you're paying this guy $42 million. But at the end of the day, you're always like, gosh, we need a pitcher like that. You know what I mean? So, I think for the Phillies to compete with the Braves, and the Braves are just always going to be there, you got to have the big dogs. And I feel like as much as I have my issues with Nola at times being consistent, Wheeler has turned into that guy when he's on the mound. Josh, what do you think of that?
So I think they got the contracts backwards. That's what I think.
Do you think Nola should have got paid more?
No, I'm talking about in terms of length of deal. I would have signed Wheeler to a longer deal. I think Wheeler's the better pitcher. I don't think he's $42 million a year good, but I mean, I would have tried to ink him for 5 years at 35 or 37 with incentives.
Well,
what was the
contract
Nola
just
got?
missed a lot of
How long
time.
was Nola's contract?
Nola signed a 5-year deal. They signed it last year, so they had the combination of both those going in. So they're both going to end their contract around the same year, I believe.
Right,
it might be 2 years in now, Nola. But they're right; they're going to finish that contract around the same year. I think if you look at like a 1-2 punch, yeah, the Braves have Strider, they have Freed up there as their 1-2 guys, but Wheeler, I feel like. And Tyler, you saw this. You guys had to make that decision early on, trading him. Then the
Way
Mets,
early.
and then he was good with the Mets. It took him a while, and that's the thing with Wheeler for me, where I'm like, he is super injury prone. He is that, right, Tyler? He's probably gonna miss. He's good, but he's now missing game. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. From a Phillies fan, I know I need him, but in the back of your head, you're always just like, ugh.
I actually love this deal as a Phillies fan. I mean, we've seen him the last couple of years. He's been at the top of the NL as far as any pitch goes.
Yep.
He goes to the top of he's been at the top of the line. As far as the Giants fan, looking back on the deals, we deal him to the Mets for Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran gets hurt, and he lasts about 33 innings on the Giants. I think this is a great deal for the Phillies. I think Zack Wheeler is the great fit. I mean, as far as with not Hamill. Who's the guy who reminds me of Hamill? Nola, the right-handed Nola, or the right-handed pitcher.
Nola's to me too out of the zone for me. That's the one thing where I'm like, you have to have Wheeler as the one there. Tyler, it's interesting though.
I ask you, as someone who plays fantasy baseball, you kept him for a couple of years. Aaron Nola, you believed in him. What has changed? Is it just a couple of years?
It's not that I don't want him on my team. I'm just saying, as an ace, when your ace can be out of the zone, it can cause you to be not always the best team. That's the little details that I've noticed with Nola over the years.
Would you rather have Zack Wheeler, Aaron Nola going forward, both of you, as a third person on this podcast who barely comes on, or comes on every couple weeks? Who would you rather have, Aaron Nola
Wheeler,
or Zack Wheeler, from the Philadelphia Phillies and their standpoint and where they're going?
Wheeler, just like
Wheeler.
Josh said. Yeah, no doubt.
So
Wheeler's more.
This is a great contract. They're getting.
It's a great contract. It's just I don't think it's a bad deal. It's for me. It's for the Phillies more. I don't think it's necessarily a negative to it. I think it's more just wow. It's Zack Wheeler. Like if you look at that line, you're like, okay, his best year was 2021. That's his only All-Star appearance. He's been voted in the Cy Young 3 times. He finished 12th. He finished 2nd, and he finished 6th. Those are his highest rankings. He's finished MVP 19th. So I'm just saying it kind of feels like a football contract in the sense of where I'm like, wow, Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo, highest paid quarterbacks in NFL history. That's all I kind of mean in the sense of that, where you feel like Zack Wheeler will not remain the highest paid for very long. That's kind of
to me that sounds very disrespectful to put him on that level of those guys in the NBA.
They were once the highest paid quarterbacks. That's all I'm saying.
That's all he's saying.
Yeah, Derek Carr's like a top 30 or 32 quarterbacks in the NFL at this point. To me,
I'm just saying at what point it was. Josh, what do you think there? You get into all this.
Tyler makes some good lines there, and I'm like, I don't have a witty comeback for that. But no, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Daren. But then again, I'm like, I mean, maybe not Garoppolo. I mean, I would agree on the point that he's the highest paid pitcher, but it ain't gonna be for long. But I still think he got overpaid. I mean, I think it's overpaid because he is injury prone.
He does than those guys. But I'm just saying, at the moment, they had a good season. They paid him off of that. I'm just saying Wheeler's getting paid off those couple good years. He's better than those guys. That was what came to my head right away. So let's get off.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Is this a good deal for the Phillies? You would give Zack Wheeler this contract if you were the Philadelphia Phillies.
Then lose him in free agency, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I would.
It's a good deal. That's all you
It is. Do you think they're better than the Braves, though, now?
No. They weren't
not even close.
No. I love it.
Not even close.
Both of you at the same time. I love it. That was great.
I mean, we do know baseball. I mean,
what do you say, T?
I agree with you guys. No, my dad was just asking a personal question, or not even personally, but just as how close me and you are, Daren, as friends. He was just asking about baseball and why is this even a topic? Why, obviously Wheeler's better than, but. Well, and it was like, is Daren still in the fantasy baseball conversation, or is he trying to trick me, or what's going on here?
I never tried to trick. There's always a little psychology there. Not gonna lie, that's always part of it. I can't help that part, but I've never. You guys are good friends, family. I'm not trying to screw you over that bad. Old fantasy baseball, maybe. Zach, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
The thing with Zack Wheeler though, with Nola, it's a commitment that they've made to 2 really good pitchers. I get it. They've committed a lot. They have the Bryce Harper. I'm completely jealous. Tyler, I know you're jealous of a team like that where they're just at least spending on stars. I mean, you know what I mean? Dishing out money that they have to keep they have to spend this to play with the Braves in that division. And not saying the Mets are there, but the Mets are going to be there every 5 years because they spend the hell out of it too. So they'll be in there once in a while in the conversation. And then there always seems to be another team there too. So I just think it's a great deal for the Phillies overall. It's just interesting looking at the contract, Wheeler's stats, and his placement and that's all. It just kind of always kind of plays out to me in that. But it is what it is, and God bless the man. He got paid. Tyler, we have Mr. Cardinal out here, and this isn't Cardinals Chronicles, but he's an old friend of mine out here in the Bay Area, Sony Gray. The Cardinals, they didn't go deep. You guys didn't decide to spend the big bucks. You decided to say, we're going to get Sonny. We're going to get Kyle Gibson. We're going to get Mr. Gibson out there. We're going to Fantasy Baseball Waiver Classic. Those are the guys you're getting on your team. Now, the Cardinals say now, we're not taking a plunge. No, not yet, as I put it in parentheses. What is the next move? What should be the next move? This is a winnable NL Central. What should be is it Snell? Is it Montgomery? Come on, Edwards. What is it?
It doesn't matter. You go to Boris and you say, all right, show me contracts similar to what your other guys have signed, and we're gonna pick one and we're gonna make an offer. This is just what it's gonna be.
That's the first move. You go slurp Scott.
Right
Unfortunately, with the position we're in, yes, because either one you get, when Sony Gray comes back, whether that's at the end of April or after Memorial Day or at the All-Star break, you got a pretty good 1-2 punch then. and then you have a decent number 3 guy, and then your 4, 5, and 6 starters can figure it out, and they can play the Tampa Bay strategy where one goes and pitches 4 innings, the next goes and pitches 3, and the bullpen finishes up, whatever. However it works out. I mean, that you're in a better position for this season with the division being winnable. Yeah, go sign Snell for $40 million for 1 year and just be done with it, or sign Montgomery for $30 million for 1 year and be done with it and make the people happy.
Josh, you know that,
I know. That's what they should do.
I love it.
Hey,
I love it.
we got 22 people watching on Friday Sports Network. Hit the like button. Josh, would you rather have Jordan Montgomery or Blake Snell if you're gonna pretend to know the price, which they will get signed at, we'll go with a 5-year difference, probably the same amount of contract. Maybe Blake gets 1 more year. I don't think it matters. Which one would you prefer to have on the St. Louis Cardinals?
Oh,
personally, Monty.
Not personally, as a
it's Monty. I do. You've been Monty for day 1. This is a 5-year love fest, and I've only.
I know he'll be a little bit cheaper than Snell. He's more of a bulldog. I like his personality a little bit more. Snell's got too many questions. When he's in, man, he is so good. But if he's off, I mean, we can't afford to have a guy who's off. I mean, Montgomery had 2 bad games all last season he was with us, and every other time he went on the mound, we couldn't put a run on the board. So I don't blame him for his record in St. Louis last season. I just don't. That's just is what it is. The offense did not play well for him early in the season last year. The offense didn't get hot until they were okay, but they weren't consistent until the second half of the season. And at that point, he was traded away. He didn't get it. He didn't benefit from that. He got Miles Michaelis last year like Michaelis did in 22. Michaelis went out there and pitched hella good all season and never got run support.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So now let's go back to Sony Gray just for a second. You were kind of skeptical of the move. You liked it, but you didn't love it really. You're kind of like,
no.
You're like, it's okay. So
I think they overpaid.
This kind of feeds your beast a little bit in that sense of where now he's gonna probably miss opening day, and then when they say opening day, who knows? That could be 2 start. You don't know with these things. I think Snell, Montgomery. I don't think you guys should be in the conversation, but I don't think you guys are gonna sign one of these guys, and that to me. It would frustrate the hell out of me if I was a Cardinals fan. It's like, how do you not, when this is as winnable a division in the freaking MLB as you have, and you're the St. Louis Cardinals, you are one of those, you're a blue blood team, right? You got to get out, and you got to get one of these guys. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Tyler, getting back also from a urination break. Let the group.
The urination.
You let the group. I like how you put it in group VSN. Everybody needed to do it. So we got that. What do you think?
Hey,
the problem here, dude. When nature calls, it calls.
It calls. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, as a Giants fan who just signed Matt Chapman. Hey, you have as a St. Louis Cardinals fan, Josh, you have the next best or the best third baseman at the defensive position let me repeat it again, the third base. Those are probably 1A, 1-2 in the NL at third base, playing the defensive position.
Okay.
What do you value Nolan Arenado as a 230 hitter hitting 15 to 20 home runs? Like, how happy would you be signing this player? Your nose.
So you're saying Chapman is that type of player? Is that what you're saying he is?
I mean, we look at his stats from the past 3 years.
Well, hold on. Before I'm going to get to Chapman here just a second. Hold on.
Yeah, I haven't seen everything on Chapman. I know he signed the deal for $354. I don't know all the details, so I have questions, and I'll tell you what I think about that deal. That's why I was excited that you were going to be on.
Yeah, Tyler, give us just a second. Let's finish on Sony Gray, the Cardinals, real quick. So NL Central-wise, if you go to Sony, you go to the injury history there. Is this the point where Cardinals fans now, just if to put a bow on this, are you guys at the point where you're like, we just are not going to ever be one of those like top 10 teams in terms of just like going for it every year, or you're just always going to sit like, we're going to always have 4 or 5, and then we're just going to sit there with it and develop guys? Like, if you guys just know that as a fan base going forward. You will never go out of your way.
With the current front office, yes. DeWitt is sticking to what has worked for him in the past, and he's not adapting with the times. And that is why the Cardinals are getting left in the dust by the rest of the league, especially subpar and small market teams, and even large market teams that they used to beat on. So, I mean, until the front office wakes up, this is what it's going to be for the Cardinals. The thing the Cardinals do have is
Lynn. You have Lance
stop
Lynn.
talking about Lance Lynn's a bulldog too, but he's going to give up a ton of home runs. The home run should be less in Busch Stadium because it's a harder stadium to hit in. That's the hope there. But he's going to eat innings. That's it as a number 5.
He's going to eat innings. I love that sentence.
And he's going to be hella good in media. He's going to be so much fun in media. It's going to be great. This is one of the things that we're actually excited about Lance Lynn coming back because he is really, really fun with the media.
Are you winning the division?
Huh?
Are you winning the division? Like, are you feeling like? Come on, like, how are you feeling?
Not without a healthy Sony Gray going out and pitching 6 every time he starts.
Josh, who do you have winning that division then? Because that division sucks outside of the Cardinals in my opinion.
Chicago or Cincinnati?
The Cubs.
I like the way he said
Cubs
Chicago.
haven't won the division since 19 whatever.
I think they won like 15, 16, somewhere around there, 17.
But they got lucky when
it's the Pirates.
Yeah,
they got it.
The Pirates. I mean, the Pirates potentially could, like the Central Division at this point is all the way wide open. I mean, it's everybody's and anybody's game. Everybody's got the young. Everybody has some young studs that if they figure it out and they can run, they can win this division. That's just all it is.
The Brewers still have the best pitcher in the division. So that's all I always say.
One pitcher's not going to win this division.
The problem is he only pitches 1 inning. That's the only. He's the best pitcher though in the division. That's all. That's right. I feel like Devin Williams is the best pitcher in that division. That would be
I wish they'd bring him home.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That
Daren,
would be nice.
Daren, as a non-homer, who do you think is winning that division?
Yeah. Say that again.
Daren.
Yeah.
Briare.
Yes.
Bad boy fadeaway. As a non-homer, who do you think is winning that division?
I took the Cubs to win that division. That's why I have the Cubs right now winning the division.
That's an insane pick to be. Like the Cubs.
I like the Cubs this year.
They've made some good signings. They got Craig Counsell there. I mean, I'm not a big Counsell fan.
I still can't say
Craig
the lefty's name I can't say the lefty's name from Japan for my life of it.
It's Imanaga.
Yes, but I can't say that for some reason. It doesn't
work. It's Imma.
I know.
And Naga. Imanaga.
I know. It's tough for me. All right, let's get to the hat here. Matthew Chapman, Oakland A's, San Francisco Giant. He joins the list of guys that have now played for both Bay Area teams here. He joins Robert Melvin / Bob Melvin in San Francisco.
Same year.
Again, out there. Matt Chapman joins the Giants this week. Scott Boras gets basically the same deal for Chapman he does for same for Bellinger as he did for Chapman, the 3-year deal with opt-outs the first 2. He gets it's basically a 1-year, $16 million deal. If Chapman gets hurt, he'll sign for the second year for 18. That's kind of what the deal comes down to. Tyler, we'll start with you then in a sense. Matt Chapman, you obviously kind of sounded like you had some negative thoughts there a few minutes ago. Let's get to it. What do you got?
No, it's not even a Matt Chapman disagreement. I think it's a good deal for the player, especially because if he sucks, he's gone in a couple of years. If he's good, he's going to opt out and he'll be gone in a couple of years. To me, it's just a Giants philosophy where it just doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? Why are we signing the Matt Chapmans of the world to these contracts? Why are we not going after?
It's 1 year though.
But if he's good, you say it's 1 year. So if Matt Chapman's good for 1 year, the Giants still are a 500 team and we suck. And he opts out. Can you see Daren? Okay, you brought it up.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Daren, as a baseball fan, if Matt Chapman hits 265, 35 home runs, 120 RBIs, are the Giants vying for the NL West championship? Could they challenge the Dodgers? As a Giants fan, I don't see it. Daren, if you think they could, I would love to hear your argument, your whatever you have to say about it. I just don't see it. That is my biggest issue with it. If he plays well enough to make the Giants challenge it, he will not be there more than 1 year. He's moving to the Yankees. He's moving back to the Dodgers. He's moving back to Toronto. He's moving to another franchise.
I hear you. You're nervous. You're skeptical of your team. I'm
skeptical of everything they do. They don't put money in. They don't.
I just showed that fantastic lineup on the screen right there with Lee. You said it. Lee is going to be the key. He really is, because you guys have not had a real leadoff hitter in a long time. So if somehow he's a spark plug, that changes everything that you've ever thought about for a while here. But the one thing
if we're putting Junhoo Lee in the Ichiro category, yeah, we're going to challenge.
No. We're not doing that. Nobody's
okay.
Doing
Where are you putting him? What's the level of Junhoo
Ray
Lee?
Durham. Can it be Ray Durham?
If he's Ray Durham, we finish second or third in the NL.
The Diamondbacks made the World Series there. I mean, that's what I'm saying. All you have to do is get to the dance, man.
But they had Corbin Carroll. They had Zach Gallen. They had
maybe Lee's Carroll.
But if you guys are having that good of a season, you don't think they'll do a trade at the deadline?
Go ahead, Josh. Help us out.
Okay, so if the Giants are in it that deep in the season, they're going to make trades at the deadline to better the pitching.
But when they'll have to. Done that.
That is true. Farhan.
When was the last time he was in position to have a real shot?
He last year, the year before.
We won 107 games. And
and when you win 107, you don't need to improve your roster.
I love you. I love Brian Sports. We love everybody. Farhan sucks. He doesn't make moves. He sucks.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But if I have 107 regular season wins, I'm not changing a dang thing.
Yeah, of course it don't. And then we lose and he doesn't make a move for 5 years. And uses that as his backdrop.
That's the problem. But I was just defending the 107 win season.
Though.
I'm not saying that. Hey, no, John Mozeliak thinks he's the smartest man in the room. He will put your Pobo and GM to shame. Let me tell you that.
I can remember Farhad's first interview when he first came out on the radio, and for some reason randomly was in San Francisco. For not good things, but it was there. And I heard the interview. It was good stuff there. I remember the interview still sticks out to my head, just like how he's very like computer-esque. And everybody makes fun of him out of here, Josh, like on the radio going into work. Whenever they talk about Farhan, they have this background music that always is like it's a computer dialing
like
up
R3 CPO, whoever that
I need to look this up on YouTube, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
What did you say? CP3? I don't even know who he said it that way.
R2C3PO.
Whoever that fucking.
It's R2D2 and C3PO, my friend.
Yeah.
I thought he said Chris Paul there. So the one thing, Tyler, I'm going to help you just a little bit with Matt Chapman is this: when he's at his best, I'll give you this confidence. Brandon Belt, who you I know Giants fans hated at moment. He at least will get hot for a period of time, and will play Gold Glove defense. You guys have had a terrible defense. He will help with that. He is brutal. I mean, he is an elite third baseman, like elite. So that you will enjoy that at least a little bit. Or would you rather have Casey Schmidt? I mean, that's my point. I'd rather have Matt Chapman than him.
I'm with you. Hey, I'm not. I said it. I asked Josh the question. Would you rather Nola Arenado as a Gold Glove third baseman? You dealt with him for a whole year, and I heard Logan bitch about Nola Arenado not being the guy. I know, Josh, don't roll your eyes at me. Let me finish. Josh, let me finish. Logan, obviously, Nola Arenado was a great defensive third baseman, as will Matt Chapman be. And I know he will be. But the hitting will leave a lot to be desired, and that's even less than Nola Arenado. How much did Nola Arenado leave you? Were you man, I wish he just hit a little better. Obviously Logan would sell it a little bit. It really was. But, I'm at Matt Chapman, he's a 230 hitter I watched the last 4 years.
So,
he's better than that.
I think I took into effect the Coors effect for Arenado. So I already
I'm talking strictly St. Louis, though. Use your St. Louis the year before when he was an MVP, top 2 candidate.
I don't think people were too upset, to be honest. I think people were a little disappointed. It was more like, hey, we wish he hit a little bit better, averages a little bit more, a couple more home runs. But
And you
I
missed
don't
the
think people were.
playoffs, and he did what he did, and you were so
Yeah, that was the thing that left salt in everybody's mouth.
okay. Fair enough.
But his defense and his tenacity. I mean, people in St. Louis love him. Like nobody wants him gone. Everybody wants him here. They don't care if he hits 250 and hits 25 home runs and has 100 RBIs. That's all he needs. Like
Okay. Before I move on
That's
to the
an
Red Sox.
unreal year for Matt Chapman if we're going to look at it.
Okay, hold on. Tyler, to your point, before I move on to the Red Sox, I'm going to read you Matt Chapman's batting averages from 2017 on. 2017, 234. 2018, his best year, 278. 2019, 249. 2020, 232. 2021, 210. 2022, 229. Last year, 240. So to Tyler's point, that is a little rough. But Tyler, he can.
How bad your guys' defense? I mean, do you really need the gold arm defense, the gold glove defense?
Hey, we had J.D. Davis playing third base.
Yeah, you get JD out there now. You'll have JD out there playing for you.
Consistency at the hot corners is important.
The one thing, though, I feel like it will help you guys. I think it will save you some runs, but my gosh, the guy can be frustrating to watch hit at times. That 1 year, and it's funny, Tyler, he finished 7th and 6th at MVP voting back-to-back years. Like, if you look at, like, that is crazy to think in the AL that he finished 7 and 6 for back his second year and his third year in the league. That's where
his defense is that good.
And remember when they both came up together, Chapman and Olsen? I thought Chapman was going to be much better. It's turned into be Olsen that's going to be the better player overall there with it.
But is that, hold on, let's go back to Daren to that point. Is that because Matt Olson's going to a team surrounded?
No, he's just a smarter hitter.
No, but hold on. If you put Matt Olson on the A's, you put Matt Chapman on the Braves with Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Matt Riley. Do you think in your head, do things maybe switch a little bit?
No. Olsen's always had more power. I just read the averages to the man. The man is Olsen does strike out and he's
we can let's look at Matt Olsen.
It doesn't matter. The power numbers aren't even there. Like he has 17, 27, 27, 10. His last 4 years, Chapman in the league. Olsen just hit 52 or whatever he hit this year, like 56. I don't know what he hit, but it was a ton. Broke records. Yeah, so Olsen is definitely much better. That is not even close in terms of where they were at with it. All right.
The only thing that would help, to Tyler's point, is where Chapman would hit in the lineup, I guess.
He'll probably bat.
Or what protection you would have around him.
Who's hitting in front of you? Who hits him behind you?
You got Soler. You in front of him.
Shut the fuck up about Soler. Excuse my language. He's gonna have Soler in San Francisco. That's a joke. I think Chapman. They're both great corner infielders.
You got Carl Yastrzemski.
I think Olsen's better. I don't want to get too big into this, but I do think it's closer if you do switch the surrounding players around the two.
I don't think it's much closer, but I think it might be a little better.
Okay, fair enough.
Not a lot closer though, Tyler. A little bit, not much.
Man. He stinks in the postseason. I've said that for years watching him. I'm like, my God. Get this man. That's like the Jim Rome comment right on Space Jam. Get this man a tennis racket. But in the regular season, he's always been lights out in terms of hitting the bombs. He did probably have a couple bad years average wise, but it's definitely better than Matthew Chapman. All right, Giolito, Josh. I wanted to get to this point with the Red Sox because we spent some time on them earlier in the year, like 25 minutes early. And me and Logan were like, we like the signing, we like it, and you're like, I don't know. He kind of seems like he could get hurt. Well, there you go. He's probably hurt out for the year. For the Red Sox, who continue or kind of in the same spot as the Cardinals, I feel like in the National League, without obviously it's not as winnable a division, but you have this guy Giolito where you're like, he's had a couple good seasons, he's coming on, he could make something. And then the Red Sox, and then you have Devers is like, we need to do more. And then the guy they signed goes out for the year, and then Grissom he's probably not even playing to start the first month. I mean, because he pulled a hamstring or groin, I believe. The Red Sox, Josh, in big trouble at the moment.
I feel bad for Boston Tom, our friend.
Oh, stop it, Josh. We never feel bad.
I feel bad for him, man. He's in a rough couple years up there in Boston.
I root for Boston losses.
I root for Boston against the Yankees, so I mean,
In the
And that's all that
2004,
matters.
yes. Only in 2004.
Always. I don't ever root for the Yankees unless they're playing the Cubs.
There are some unlikable Red Sox teams, in my opinion. There is. Some
I agree, but there's city alliances there, man. The enemy of my enemy, man.
So
Manny Ramirez and Johnny Damon and
Matt Damon, he played shortstop.
I'm Matt Damon.
Johnny Damon.
Manny Ramirez, the guy who went to the Dominican, got robbed and raped or whatever he was doing.
I don't remember that incident.
The big left, David Ortiz, the guy who was crying. Oh,
Big puppy.
My family, they want me.
No, I don't remember that guy.
Ew.
You don't remember David Ortiz going to the
I don't remember David Ortiz. I thought you were talking about somebody else on the Red Sox there. So do you think Giolito's injury, do you think for the Red Sox this year, is it the same situation the Cardinals where they basically have to get one of these two guys and they're going to get desperate? Or is this collusion Boris Mission Impossible continue? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are the owners in collusion with Boris, you think? Like, Josh? Like, they're like, we're not gonna get screwed by this guy.
I don't think it's collusion. I just think they kind of all come to understanding that this is not sustainable.
Sounds like collusion to me.
No, I'm not saying like they sat down and they had a meeting. I'm thinking like enough of them had said it over the last few years that more and more are buying into it. Like It's been publicly said, hey, this is just contracts getting. I mean, owners don't want to pay this. I mean, they're not going to let their profits decrease. You're going to make it to where you can't market the game to families anymore. And that's your main source is young kids. And old folks.
And old folks, that is true.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, our generation is not as heavily invested in baseball as the generation before us.
No.
The generation before them was even more heavily invested in baseball than
I was invested. I was out there hitting fungos.
I'm talking about our generation as a whole.
I know. I mean,
come on.
I literally in PE, I tell you guys every week, I go, ladies and gentlemen, we need to improve our baseball skills. Like, it is the one sport we cannot play as classes. We need to be able to play baseball as a class. This is pathetic. Let's go. And then we work on it. Kick. What do we do every time? First base, ball goes in the air. No, don't run. Don't run.
You'd rather have the one that wants to run than the one that doesn't want to move when they're on base.
Tyler, do you think the Red Sox are right now? Their fans are using the word embarrassing. Me and you were just joking like how we enjoy it, but like it is weird to see the Red Sox in this like feel like they're cheap mode type of thing. It feels weird that they're like, yeah, we can't spend this. It's like weird to think about.
It definitely doesn't make sense from an outsider, but from listening to podcasts and listening to that area, it seems like the Mookie Blaylock, in Atlanta, the Mookie Betts thing, and the Rafael Devers somehow figuring it out. It seems like they kind of figured it out, but they just figured it out way too late, and they fucked themselves.
Do you think the Trevor Story? I think that contract scared them more. The Story contract.
The fact that I think the fact that they went and said, "Hey, Mookie Betts isn't what we need at this point," is where they fucked themselves.
That's the worst trade in the it'll be the worst trade maybe in the next 50 years.
It's not even the trade. It's the fact that they didn't they were like, this doesn't seem realistic. And the 35 people who are tuned in now, hit the damn like button.
7th inning stretch. Let's go to work.
Podcast you'll hear all year. Hit the like button. Do something. Make something of your life. Let these people of the 7th inning stretch let you know that they feel appreciated. I don't need it. It's these two guys. They are great. They're the reason I come on this podcast. But Mookie, the Mookie Betts thing is insane. How do you, as the Boston Red Sox, let him escape to go to the New York Yankees up today, the LA Dodgers, and be like, oh, that makes it better? It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's literally, we joke about all. It's like the worst trade that you could think of it. And I love that you played in the Double podcast, the Mookie Blaylock reference. Well done there, Tyler McGurk. Point guard there, Hossa. This guy's on his game here. Hey, real quick here. Real quick. Why not let rookies like Jackson Holiday and Paul Skeens start in the big leagues? Like, You know what I mean? Where you're like, these guys are freaking electric. Like, get them out there, develop them. It's just like, I know there's this. I just don't get the mindset. Like, this guy, how is Paul Skeens not better than the last guy on their roster? How is Mr. Holiday? Maybe the Orioles are deeper, but how is Mr.
Hey,
I go ahead.
Paul Skeens is having sex with too many TikTok ladies.
He's off the team. Mike McKendry.
He's sleeping with too many TikTok ladies. So that is.
Do you think that's the reason why, to mature him up? I mean, he's not going to mature up on TikTok being in that.
I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
They took him number one. He's throwing 102.
Yeah,
why are we wasting his arm in the minor leagues?
I don't how old is he? Hold on. How old is he?
He's got to be at least 22.
He's a junior in college, first year.
21, 22.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe they want to see what he can do for a year and how he handles having money in his pocket and freedom. I mean, my whole thought is maturity. But if you get a kid that decides not to go to college, signs his contract at 18, there's no way I'm bringing that kid up until at least he's 21, to where he's seen some things and gotten a little world experience. So for me, it's all about life experience, because you hand these kids money and freedom and they don't know what the real world is, it's going to chew them up, spit them out, and you're going to lose an investment.
But I'm saying you drafted a number one and he's throwing 102. What is your investment? Like, I guess, and he's throwing strikes. I don't know. That's where my mind goes. Isn't there a world where this could be like the NBA and you just play right away? Like Mr. Olerud? Go ahead, T.
How long do most NBA players last?
No more likes. Hit the like button. But my thing is, hey, why we're doing baseball? You're Paul Skeens, 22-year-old. Give me a damn, like, you're an MLB player. What are we doing? Why are you not?
Play for the Pirates.
We're only pitching guys. We're only pitching guys 6 innings a game because we're worried about people's arms lasting.
I don't get it.
It makes no sense.
Okay, we're fresh out of our senior year of college. I can throw 7 innings. But no, we want to sit you back, play 4 innings in our minor leagues. Like, what?
You need to go to Birmingham. Birmingham is where you need to go, sir. Yep. Stop.
We need to waste those 4 innings a night.
Those Sacramento River Cats. What a team because of that, right? You know, like, I mean, I'm with Tyler, Josh. Go ahead. Last thoughts.
How many kids burn out because how many kids have been given the opportunity, getting the big contract, and I'm talking across all sports, and even include football, where we know college football players who are top prime get all the attention and everything, so they're used to it. How many of those guys have we seen burn out after their first contract because they couldn't handle it?
But that's the thing with baseball is, like, I feel like they don't even get paid till longer. So why not use their arm when they're younger? And, like, especially if they're studs, like Skeens and Holiday look like these guys are, I don't know, they seem different. That's all I'm saying.
And these two guys might be different. I'm just talking, my general rule of thumb is it'd be player dependent on how they are and what they show me. You know, I'm not taking any kid I draft in the first round. I don't care if he's 23 or 18. I'm not putting him on the big boy roster unless he comes to spring training and he seems like a seasoned pro. Like his daddy played ball and he grew up around the clubhouse and he knows how pro baseball works. That's different than a kid who
is on TikTok,
didn't have that kind of upbringing, who was around it growing up. I mean, if I was 18 and signed with the MLB team, I'll be honest right now, I would have burned it. I don't even know if I'd still be alive.
Josh, if he's good enough to make the roster, what are we doing?
What if he can't survive on his own yet?
What if
make good decisions?
It takes him a couple months just to figure out.
I don't know.
Kids these days are not as smart as we were, and we weren't that bright.
Hey, to me, if you can't come in here, you come on, and that's how baseball works.
That's all. I just thought it was kind of fun discussion. I'm glad the way you guys discussed it made it actually better than I thought, because I thought it was like, I just kind of, that was an interesting question. Like, I didn't really carry it in a sense, but I was like, it's kind of weird though. Like, if you have talent and they're better than the top 26, like naturally it's like, why aren't they playing up on like I hear you, Josh, like there's living, I get all that. I get it. I'm just saying for the A of A, there is a level there where both these guys, can we admit this, talking to each other right now, they're probably both going to be in the league by June.
I would say by Memorial Day. or the deadline.
All right, a couple of days before USOB. All right, I got you there. What do you think there, Tyler? It's going up. He goes Price is Right. He goes $1 on me. I go Judy.
I feel like a lot deserves to be retired. Or a lot could be changed. I think a lot could be changed for the best of baseball. I think a lot could be changed for the worst of baseball. It's just baseball at this point.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's
just funny. Just
as a personal Giants fan, as a Matt Chapman fan, we look at what Nola and Arenado did to Matt Chapman. Like, I'd be stoked what Matt Chapman did. I think you'd be disappointed, and that's like $30 million in payroll. It just takes a lot. And as far as the young guys go, it's gonna take a lot for me to be excited for what Marco Luciano does to make the Giants.
I like how you became a Matt Chapman fan in 5 minutes here. I like that overtime. You've come to the. No, I'm just messing with you. All right, diamond notes here. Just this is the quick thing. Peter Gaiman, shout out, hello. Carlos Rondon struggles for the Yanks. Logan Stone, I put that out there just for you. Spring training overreaction. Rondon, but for Rondon, I feel like it's a little different. So we'll see there with the Yankees. Mike Zunino, shout out there, been on the fantasy team a couple times, 49 home runs, batting 210, that kind of stuff. He retires 11 seasons, 149 home runs. Want to shout him out as well. MLB The Show has unveiled the female player mode for this year's video game. I had to think of my daughter Grace only for this. I'll be honest. Oh, no. I would have never cared about this, where I would have probably been like, oh, whatever. But my daughter Grace, she'll play these video games like WWE and like with my my son.
You're excited about this, Daren?
No, I'm not excited about it. But I noticed from my girl's standpoint, right? She's like, be the girls. Like, she's telling Xavier, and Xavier's like, I don't want to be the girl wrestler. She's like, but like she wants to be the girl wrestler. So I'm just saying, from a little girl's standpoint, like if it's like 2 through 10. It's whatever. It's a mode what it is. I'm not going to look at it from anything more. I'm not going to look at it from a political standpoint, McGirt. That's not what I'm doing it. So I got that. How about my guy from the A's also retiring this week? Josh Donaldson, one of the last real Oakland A's players there that came up with them. Shout out to him. I was part of the Diamond Notes as well. I think they're with it, Tyler or Josh, you have daughters. I just think like from a little kid, like I'm not thinking this is like 25-year-old. I'm just thinking like a little girl. Like obviously, my daughter looks at when my son plays video games. She wants to be the girl wrestler. So like that's all I mean from something like that.
I mean, so I got two not conflicting points of views on this, but from a marketing standpoint, I think it's genius. And for baseball, I think it's great because we've talked about this before. It's more exposure, and there's this girl in. I just saw about her on MLB Network. It was last night, this morning, something. I just saw an advertisement about this girl. She's the first girl to play professional ball. She's not obviously in the MLB yet or anything, but I guess she's really good. I'm going to try to catch it just to see what it's about. But we need more exposure, even at the little league level for kids. If this gets them in to want to go play, fantastic. Women did play a huge role in the history of baseball. I mean, we can't
get into that in just a minute here.
We can't forget about that. So, like, if they had a mode where it was like, hey, it's going to be the All-American Girls Professional Ball, like that, you're going to play those 4 teams, you create the whole deal. I'd be all for that. That's cool. And you're doing the history thing of it, or you're doing the like in Madden where you can play as one of the quarterbacks or something, or a player and live the deal.
That's kind of what it is, right?
I think so. I haven't read a lot about it. I mean, if that's what it is, cool. You're teaching a little bit of history. You're getting the girls involved. I'm all for it. I think baseball, softball, good sports all the way around.
What do you think about Donaldson retiring, though? I want to get to him for a second because he won an MVP in 2015. He's known as a kind of a jackass. And a lot of players didn't like him. I loved him as an A's player. Like
he's a good player.
That Tigers game where I thought he walked it off, he hit it off the wall, and they eventually won on the Coco single. But he was, for me, they got him in the Rich Harden deal to the Cubs. That's how they ended up in the A's. Donaldson, to me, is always – Josh, fun fact about him, he started out as a catcher in the minor leagues. The A's traded for him as a catcher. They moved him to third base when they actually traded for him. So that is kind of a little interesting there. I want to get to our favorite baseball movies ever. I want to get to that part a little bit here with it because I don't want to spend forever on it, but I want to spend a few minutes here with it. Like, there's so – like, the way you look at a baseball movie is different. Like there's like Kevin Costner's like on everybody's list with some here or there. Then you have like your little kid baseball movies like Rookie of the Year. You have your ones like Little Big League that are there kind of in between that and there. So and then you have like The Sandlot. That's an absolute classic along the way. Then you have your other ones like Bull Durham. Then you have your Field of Dreams stuff. Josh, where do you sit with some of your favorite baseball movies ever?
So for me, I like the way you approached it, and we haven't talked about this. Like we said, hey, we want to do favorite baseball movies. We didn't talk anything about it. So the way you opened up with it, it's kind of how my stance is on it. I got a baseball movie for kind of the mood I'm in. If I want the comedy and the fun of the minor leagues, I'm really going with probably Bull Durham because I think it was a little bit more realistic than the Major League back to the minors.
Yeah,
Major League's funny. Like Sandlot's my favorite kid one, hands down. Like there's no questions asked. It's probably in my top 10 movies ever made. Up there with Mighty Ducks.
Mighty
Ducks. Hey, I'm always up there with Mighty Ducks. Don't give me.
I love the whole trilogy, even the third one. That's kind of weird, but because it's fun. But no, I mean, I love most of the baseball movies, to be honest. Moneyball's different. A League of Their Own's great. 42 for me is very good. The Rookie is
lifetime gross stats, by the way.
See, I'm surprised Field of Dreams isn't higher. But golly, A League of Their Own on top. I think Moneyball's too high.
It's as good as it gets. I think Moneyball just captured people's imagination when it came out too. A little bit old, Brad Pitt obviously playing doesn't hurt your chances there. Making
no.
What do you guys think?
Tell you the truth?
For me, I think A League of Your Own.
I love A League of Your Own, but I'd never watched Moneyball until the pandemic.
For me, it was tough to watch. Like honestly, like we lost the first round. It's not like I was there like great movie. It's like like Eddie Guardado gets the last out regardless. You know what I mean? Like I don't like everyday Eddie gets it out. Like I'm not excited about that win overall. I was pissed about that. That was like the prime of my A's fandom, like during those years. So like that movie, it's cool, but it also like it sucks. I mean, there's moments I'll never forget, like the Hatterberg home run, that whole run. Like I will never forget that. Like where I was, me and Casey. That game wasn't even on local TV. Still one of the craziest things you'll ever think of all time. It was not. ESPN would black it out locally, so it was not on here. So and then the A's didn't have a thing like the Giants. Go ahead, Tia.
But that's what makes Moneyball so exciting. Is it was not about like that moment in where the movie makes it.
I know. I hear you.
Exciting for everybody who wasn't a part of it. Like, I didn't know that it wasn't. And as a non-A's fan, I knew the 20-game win streak was going on, and I knew that the Terrence Long hit was going on, or the Miguel Tejada, or the Scott Hatterberg play. I heard about it the next day, and I was like, F the A's. Because the Giants were in that same run. It was all going down.
No doubt.
In August, in September, where both teams were making runs. And it was like, but the A's, who were not the Giants, they weren't the local darlings, were getting this publicity. And I was like, this is cool. Yeah, me and Casey, your younger brother, were getting, we would look at, I'd get picked up by your mom to go to summer school, and we'd be like, I hate the A's, but we'd have to read the morning newspaper to realize what was going on that day.
Yeah, that was the best part.
And we'd have this moment of being like, the A's are important in this instance in what was going on. As far as now, it was big. It was fun. I think the most important movie in that time, or not even that time, but
what's your favorite baseball movie?
It's got to be Rookie of the Year. She stacked. Milk did that body good. There's so many lines. You can't look back at as a 12-year-old who does a prepubescent kid, and you're like
Florida McGee, hot ice,
and you're talking as your friend, you're talking to a kid, and she stacked. And you're like, what does that even mean? You don't even know. And it's like, that means that the girl got through puberty, and she has it's just a great movie. Looking back on it, I know it looks maybe now it's not appropriate, but watching it with your friends who were born
Tyler.
in 1980.
Tyler, can I play this scene real quick from League of Their Own here? One of the highest gross who
I don't like this movie because this is used against me because I hated losing.
Can I ask you a question? You got a moment? Mm-hmm. Which team do you play for?
Well, I'm a peach.
Well, I was just wondering, because I couldn't figure out why you would throw home when we've got a 2-run lead. You let the tying run get on second, and we lost the lead because of you. Now you start using your head. That's that love that's 3 feet above your ass.
Yeah, that's great too. All right, now looking back at it.
Oh, I got about 30 seconds left.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris. Rogers Hornsby was my manager, and he called me a talking pile of pig shit. And that was when my parents drove all the way down from Michigan to see me play the game. And did I cry?
No.
No. And you know why?
No.
Because there's no crying in baseball.
It's funny. I went to this movie with my grandmother, like all that. It's funny looking at how iconic that scene has become over time because that's what you say. There's no crying. You say that all the time. Even if it's like just joke, there's no crying in basketball. You like even if you're messing around, like that is just an iconic line. And it's hard with that movie not to think of that. For me, that's the first baseball movie I think of. And it's not even a guy's playing it. The other one is an underrated movie, Little Big League. I like that one where the Twins guy is the kid. He takes over as
Rookie of the Year.
I like Little Big League as well. I got to admit. I like that one. I like Rookie of the Year too. But Sandlot's number one for me as well because of just like the bike scene. That will be on that will be on a flashback video one of these weeks. I can't get all the movie scenes on tonight. That will be on there. I have some Bull Durham ones on. There's iconic scenes like when they visit when Kevin Costner visits the pitcher. They're talking about what to get the guy for a gift, like because they got married. Like all that stuff's good in baseball movies in a sense there. So I appreciate all those good stuff with it. Any last thoughts on baseball movies? Go ahead, Josh. I'll give you your first thought with it.
Field of Dreams is my feel-good one.
Oh, I love that movie too. My wife hates that movie though. Hates it.
What?
She does not like it at all. I don't know what
Does she have something against James Earl Jones?
I don't think she's real. She says it's too boring, too slow for her. She says it's too.
It's against black people.
She's Mexican.
You get real good food at home. I'd be fatter if I were you.
No problem. All right. Tyler, you got any last thought? 42 was the second highest gross movie. That surprised me a little bit, though.
Well,
I like that movie. I liked it.
It's a good movie. It hits hard. It hits hard. The acting in it was really, really well. I mean, everything was delivered correctly. For real representation. I mean, it was a really good movie. It was really, really well done. I think the fact that, it was a really good movie. I mean, it was Jackie Robinson movie. I mean, it was good.
It's good. All right, MLB trivia here for the week. I got you on it with it. We're getting close to the hour mark with it. All right, hit number one. Who am I? As always, I played 12 seasons from 1984 to 1995. I was an all-star in my last 10 years in the big leagues for the American League. Anybody has a guess out there?
Next question.
Not Big Paul. That's a good guess, though, Big Paul. I played for one team my whole career. I am in the Hall of Fame. I am a 2-time World Series.
Kirby Puckett.
Josh, you have a guess?
Puckett sounds like a good guess.
Is it Puckett or you got somebody else?
I'm trying to think.
Come on, Josh. We don't have
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Puckett. Yeah, let's take Puckett. That sounds logical.
This one is it Tyler McGurk, hint number 3. I am a Hall of Famer, 6-time Gold Glove winner, 6-time Silver Slugger winner, won a batting title, and a World Series champion. Tyler McGurk, you were right. It is the one, the only Kirby Puckett. I got to get it up on the stage. I got to get it this week with it. Here's the home run in Game 6 that he robs right here. Or
When
no,
did he reach for that Snickers bar?
He
Ah,
So we start with that one that he robs over there.
it's
And
not
then
just
you
the catch, man. It's the throw in too.
It's
No,
the throw
he
as
reached
well.
for a Snickers bar up above where he couldn't reach. But
It's still one of the greatest. I know, John, out of your Falcon mind, you're probably a little maybe frustrated by this Kirby Puckett pick. Tyler, I'm impressed. But I look at those stats where, like, I mean, the fact that and think about those stats he had. Like, I mean, to be a Hall of Famer, 6-time Gold Glove winner, 6-time Silver Slugger, 10-time All-Star the last 10 years of your career, won a batting title, all World Series MVP, and an All-Star MVP. That's a pretty full career if you look at it from that standpoint. I'm gonna get one of his other epic plays on. I just feel like,
But is it the most impressive? He only hit 207 home runs. He
had more than that. He ended up with 207, but he batted 318. He had 2,304 home runs, over 1,000
No, he didn't have
RBIs.
home runs.
The fact he led the league in hits 4 seasons. You know what I mean? So, like, he was always.
How many home runs did he finish with? It wasn't.
He was in the top. Tyler, he's also in the top 10 MVP voting in 7 seasons. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Like, so like he was right there. He's a Hall of Fame.
But he didn't hit 2,000 home runs. How many home runs did he hit?
He did not hit 2,000. He ended up with 207 home runs.
It's not that impressive. I mean, it's great.
318 RBIs.
It's a different game.
But what if you're in the top 10 of MVP voting?
No, that's the
7 times.
Darren, I'm with you. Darren, I don't want to.
7 times.
That's an
I would have never came up with Kirby Puckett on my own. It just made sense. When he said that, I thought about it. I was like, that would be a logical guess.
All right, out of your Falcon mind. This is going to hurt you, but here it is. We're going to
look at it. Hey.
We're going to go with a little bit of Kirby Puckett, ending it in Game 6 to force Game 7. The great Jack Buck, hopefully on the call. Here we go.
deep left center from Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
A little fat fuck.
Let Metro go, man. Let Metro go.
Hey, I gotta say, hey, I'm 2 for 2 on these songs. And I'm not.
And I still haven't gotten one right.
Yeah, I don't know why that one just to me. I don't know. There's something different about that one for Kirby than me that sticks out a little bit. Kirby Puckett, like it's funny. I ref with this guy that refs our Chapel Ball league. I think I've told Tyler this. He wears this fat ring to every game, and it's his 1987 World Series ring with the Twins because he was scout with them. And he said, Tyler, he says he's the guy he scouted the best, and the guy he's the most responsible for is Eddie Guadardo. And he said that's the one guy that he's the most responsible for. But he said Puckett turned down $4 million more to stay with the Twins. Like just like back in the day, that was a lot of money. And he says like that was a huge deal in 1991. He's like, no, I just want to play where I'm comfortable at. Like I literally every time I talk to this guy, I'm hoping to get him on 7th inning stretch. And Brad, he's a scout now he's a hitting scout now for the Cincinnati Reds. So I'm hoping to get him on the show here at a few, maybe to get into Mr. De La Cruz here in a little bit with it. But I just feel like Kirby Puckett is kind of a little bit like for Tyler in 1995, he retired. Like we knew about him, but like we didn't know about him. That's why
I feel like I've heard like glimpses before this podcast when I heard like that it would be Kirby Puckett as like a guy. And then you said like a short career, all in one league in the AL, which obviously Minnesota is. It was like just like a guess. I didn't expect it to be right. But we have 49 people watching us right now. Hit the damn like button. Share it with your freaking friends.
Of course they're watching. It's MLB baseball. We're 3 weeks away. That's
people watching Variety Sports Network. Josh, the best NL Cardinals. If you want good Cardinals baseball, you want good baseball. Daren will be there all year. I'll be volunteering when they will have me. They often say Tyler kick rocks because I have mobile lapses. But I'll be on every once in a while.
Your wife usually says the room is too
share
small.
With your friends. Share Variety Sports Network. Hey, I love you guys both. I enjoy doing this with you guys. I love talking baseball. Kirby Puckett. Who would have thought?
Last part. MLB Flashback, 7th inning stretch. This is the video. I'm going to go a little comedy here with it. I know Tyler's probably, all of you are going to probably
I'm here for the long
video, but I'm going to go to it here with it. I love the announcers as well on this call. So MLB Flashback, Tyler said 49 people in there. We appreciate it. We love it. We love the passion and energy towards baseball. Here we get to it on the Variety Sports Network here. Little Sunday night baseball action. Pedro Martinez on the mound for the Expos. Mike Piazza hitting for the Dodgers.
Piazza.
Who's pitching? Is that Pedro or Ramon?
In foul territory. Now,
And Larry Walker.
That play. And Walker doesn't know how many outs there were. He gave it. Offerman will go back to third. Well, wait a minute. This is something I don't understand. I think Walker gave
Joe Morgan.
Man, he thought that was the third out. Yeah, but how can they? I don't understand how. Well, I guess it's like a throw into the seats. Okay, I guess that's what they're saying. It's like a throw into the seats. You get 2 bases.
Offerman.
Even though he didn't throw it in, he gave it to somebody. I'm surprised Walker remembered to show up tonight.
You get 2 bases beyond the base you already have.
Right. See, if he gives it to that kid.
Yeah.
Here's the funny part. He goes back to get it, though. That's what's funny. So
Yeah.
what if the kid doesn't give it to him?
Right now, at this point, Offerman is still on the way to second base,
Right.
which means he only gets third.
Now watch. Somebody goes back to get the ball. Oh. Maury,
Tell me they gave the kid the ball back.
that's often said.
Oh, that video, I was looking forward to sharing that one for a long time, but that's one of my favorite ones. Like also it was kind of nice to hear John Miller and Joe Morgan on the call as well.
Yeah. Oh,
just a little from a nostalgia standpoint here, growing up as a kid. Larry Walker on the Expos, Moises.
I didn't know that was Larry Walker. I guess I never made the connection. That's why I was like, oh shoot.
I didn't say Moises Alou. I said, but what's the dad? What's the dad? The manager, not
Felipe.
Moises. Felipe, thank you. He was the manager for the Expos. Those were some good Expos. Is Pedro on the Expos? Pedro versus Piazza. That's a fun matchup right there.
Is that
Expos.
Pedro or Ramon?
No, that was Pedro right there. That was Pedro. He was there with it. I thought that was a good MLB flashback. Had that one on the docket for a while as well. Josh, did I go wrong anywhere tonight?
Inviting Tyler.
No, you corrected yourself, so I'll let you off the hook tonight. You corrected
Tyler,
yourself.
did I go wrong anywhere other than inviting you on tonight? Did I go wrong anywhere?
That was a great show. The 7th inning stretch, I always enjoy coming on.
We love having you here, man. You're fun, and we're gonna have a little preview, a little teaser. We're gonna have this big debate conversation.
Not master.
No, definitely not that. Nobody wants to do that.
No, we're not. What was the dude from CNN who did that on a Zoom call and then lost his job? Tubin, that's it.
We're all on the same page.
We're not doing that, but yeah. So keep your watch out for when we do that. It's gonna be a debate of who's the more deserving Hall of Famer and who was the better player. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna get heated. It's not Barry Bonds. It's none of the juicers. It's gonna be legit ball players.
I told Tyler, he goes, "Well, I don't really care that much." I go, "When Josh rips on Posey, you'll be fired up. You'll be fine." Once he
just gave it up.
No, well, he knows you're gonna. He knows you'll like Posey there with it. All right, we got 52 people in here on the network. I appreciate anybody that's tuned in tonight on Variety Sports Network. 7th inning stretch. We're going to be joining, like I said, dog days of March here. We'll be joining you in a couple weeks. Me and Josh will be doing Sunday night games live, like we did Talking the Gridiron. We'll be doing that as well. Appreciate Tyler McGurk joining us as well tonight. Josh Edwards, another great show here on 7th inning stretch. Appreciate everyone that supports the network here. Feel free to always comment in. We want that interaction. That's what we want. That's what we desire here on the show. Tell us what we need to do better. All that good stuff. So
tell us when we're wrong.
Baseball, please tell us when we're wrong. I know we're wrong a lot. Baseball fans out there, we're close. Come on, we're close. Let's together here. Let's work together. That's why I spend an hour here getting ready or more than that, getting ready for the show. I want your interaction. I want your passion. I want the energy for this game. I love it. So let's talk. Let's feel it out together. Let's communicate through it. So for Josh Edwards, Variety Sports Network, New St. Louis show as well, 314. Great job last night. Or Darren
Yep.
Briare, Fat Boy Fadeaway Sports. Be sure to check us out Sunday morning with Tyler McGurk. We will see you next week. Take it easy. Peace.